This is Chrishena Stanley, owner of STK Property Group, and I'm your hostess with the mostest. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Always Bet on the House. We are absolutely thrilled to be in this vibrant space here, interviewing the fabulous Janelle Reale, multimedia artist, local Las Vegas multimedia artist. And we have to give a special shout out to Kyle Cricket for opening this gorgeous gallery, Mad Gallery, right here in the Art District, specifically so we could do this interview. So I hope you enjoy it. Hello, Janelle.
Hi, Chrishena.
Thank you so much for being with us today.
I'm so honored to be here.
Oh
really.
My God, we're absolutely excited, thrilled, honored to have you. So first of all, let's talk about, because this show is real estate related, I always am so, I'm so excited always by the impact of art on the sale of a property. Sure. So I've been in this business for quite some time. And what I've always seen 100% of the time is that homes that have really beautiful, expressive art that evokes emotion, these homes always sell for a higher price per square foot and in a shorter period of time. Because although the art doesn't stay with the home, it adds such personality and character to the home. People have such a strong attachment or feeling when they enter it, and it just causes them to really fall in love immediately. Whereas they don't have that same sort of emotion where it lacks art.
Sure. I think when you go into a home and it's only white walls and it's very clean, you're limiting the amount of potential. Like, what could this space turn into? And I think art has the ability to help reimagine a space, opening it up to different possibilities, whether you want to escape to somewhere floral or nature, or you like a street scene. It brings that energy into your home.
So your home essentially becomes like a blank canvas.
Yes.
For you to create this whole kind of attitude, personality, environment, everything.
Well, art really gives you the ability to empower yourself to create whatever space you want versus waiting for someone else to design it. You have the power to choose what pieces really speak to you and really make you feel good when you're in your own home.
I absolutely agree. I have one of your pieces hanging on my wall, and it automatically just cheered the whole space up. It just made it feel more vibrant, more loving, just more
energy.
Fun energy. It gave it so much energy because the colors you use, the heart theme that you can see throughout a lot of your pieces. I mean, it just evokes so much emotion and energy and love. It's all vibrant,
Well, I think art has the power to transform a space.
Yes.
Right? And it can be whatever you're feeling. If you want to be uplifted, if you want to be excited, if you want kind of a calmer mood, art can really transform the space like that, because whatever art you choose, that's going to be the feeling of the room.
I agree 100%. And so I know that you do, and we'll talk about this more in depth because you do so much. You've done huge murals, you do sculptures. I mean, you've done mannequins. I mean, the list goes on, and there's meaning behind all of those, which we'll get to. But if someone were to, can they we'll go into that later as well, but they can come to you to buy your art in order to put in their home. And would you help them pick out pieces that you feel kind of match with their energy and their vibe? Because some people are intimidated by art, and while it is very personal, sometimes people need a little guidance or help if they're intimidated, just to kind of get their feet wet.
Well, I really like Mad Gallery because it features over 40 local artists, and we have Kyle here who curates, and it doesn't have to be one artist that you choose. You can mix and match artwork to create whatever vibe that you want, and also commissions. A lot of my business includes commissions, to where somebody sees an art piece and it's like, oh, I love it, but there's too much green and I hate green, or whatever it happens to be. I don't mind creating that ultimate art piece for somebody that makes them just feel like, oh, this is mine. I was a part of it. I got to participate in the art making process or the curatorial process, to where you have someone helping you kind of curate your home to create the perfect space.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people would feel like they're insulting the artist if they said like, this piece absolutely has captured me, but this adjustment would make it feel more personal to me. So the fact that you're open to really making it something personal for them, I think is so important. It's important for people to know. I was highly impressed and jealous because I saw the Balenciaga bag that was commissioned that you did.
I went to Italy.
Oh my God, I saw it. I was like, that should be mine.
Well, it was really fun, that piece. She came in and she said, I don't know what you want to paint, but I want a few colors. I want love. I want something where I'm going to travel. And so I thought about creating kind of a more piece where it had typographical influences in it, whereas sometimes I go more for an emotional feeling through color. So I think when you are art making or working with a client on art making, whether it be murals, whether it be sculptures, fine art, or even Balenciaga bags, right? That you are creating something that they're going to love forever. I want to create art that is going to be a forever piece in your home, not something that's like, oh, this is cool right now, and then you forget about it, but something that you keep forever and it continues to mean and grow with you.
Right, I know. Well, seeing that was definitely a statement piece.
It was fun.
And I saw
It's my first bag. It's my first purse.
You did a fabulous job. And she was you could see how elated she was. She was like over the moon excited to carry that bag. And I could see why. I mean, that's a conversation starter right off the bat.
Well, that was her mother's. And they were going to throw it away. And so sometimes art can be transformative because you are recreating something that already was.
Right? Isn't it beautiful?
So even like a home or a space, like if you have a home and you want a new mural, or a piece that might, transform the spot, but then also, you can change it, you can grow with it. It's just art is really been a great thing. My mother was an artist, so I'm really lucky on that. And she opened up everything to where I didn't have to limit myself to one medium.
Isn't that beautiful?
But you just have fun with art.
Oh my God, isn't that beautiful? It's true, because even going back to the bag again, it's like it keeps the integrity of the fact that it was vintage and it has sentimental value being her mother's.
Passed down from her mom.
But then it gives it a new life by, adding your art to it. So it's like it doesn't damage or compromise the integrity of it.
No.
Being a sentimental piece.
It gives it a new life.
It just gives it new life.
Rebirth.
And I love that. Because
like
life
a phoenix.
is all about rebirth. And we can't be afraid to recreate, relive, redo, re-energize everything. That's what life is about. That's how we go on. We can't get stuck in the mud.
No.
Because nothing good happens in the mud.
No.
It's just dirty. Oh my gosh, I love it. So you mentioned that your mother was an artist, which is so fascinating.
Yeah, she was an art teacher, fine arts degree. It's probably why I know so much about statistics on the specific challenges that women face with fine arts degrees and things like that. And she honestly didn't want me to be an artist. But I couldn't. It was probably what made me become an artist, because I was like, I gotta do it. But she was painting with me and teaching me things when I was like as early as 1 year old. So it's like my first memories are creating art with my mom.
Isn't that amazing? So it's in your blood, obviously, it's your DNA. So why would she not want you to follow in her footsteps and become an artist?
Well, there's an unfortunate statistic out there. Everybody really romanticizes art making, and being artists. And I think they don't realize the challenges that art businesses face. And, statistically, art businesses will, the amount of art businesses that are run by artists, after 10 years, only 6% make it.
Wow.
Only 0.5% is female. Statistically, 70% of fine art graduates are women, and only 2% of fine art sales go to women. And so there are real challenges that my mother faced, years ago, that she probably loved me as her daughter and didn't want me to face. But I mean, if we don't stand up and start talking about it and do something about it, then how do those statistics change? So that's probably a big part of my passion for helping the community, for helping other artists, not just female artists, all artists. 6% is pretty dismal.
Right,
business says to succeed after 10 years. It's pretty bad. It doesn't matter if it's male, woman, whoever, she, he, they, all of it. Like, we need to work together to change those numbers, because, art is such a cultural value for society. Art is what uplifts, and a big reason why I do murals is because you can get art on the eyes of viewers.
Right, and it opens it up to a larger...
To be free for everyone, to enjoy or to feel better.
Right.
And although it's not like a big moneymaker, it's a lot of fun.
Oh my God. Of course.
Even the floor.
Right. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely lovely. I love it. All the color and everything. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful. Now, your courage, knowing those statistics, and still moving forward with such passion in this industry shines through in your art.
Aww,
And I have even more respect than I already had, which was like a ton.
Thank you.
I mean, it does. And when you know that the odds are stacked against you, you have to be passionate.
Yeah.
In order to still pursue that career. So I just think that's so lovely. And that just really speaks to your passion and your courage to continue on and to continue to pursue this journey while knowing that, statistically, you're not going to get the credit you deserve.
Yeah.
But here in Vegas, I know we absolutely adore you, and you get notoriety all over the place. Yes, I mean,
I'm really grateful.
You are a local celebrity.
What's actually been really, really nice are the local businesses that support local artists like Mad Gallery. They had the options to bring in big names from out of state and to, make lots of money, but instead they decided to create the space that is the largest local artist showcase here in Las Vegas. Nobody else is doing
Mad
it.
Gallery is absolutely. I can't tell you how. Well done it is. From my perspective.
Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Brianna.
It's absolutely gorgeous. The way everything is laid out, the pieces that are displayed, the way it flows. Immediately when you walk in here, you feel good. You feel excited about life. You feel happy. It evokes like every good emotion you need to get through the day. I told Kyle that I'd be coming here regularly. She's like, this will be my happy pill place, but I don't want to overstay my welcome.
That's like what's great about this place is it's open all days. They have interactive mural out front with myself and two other local artists.
I know the mural is just stunning.
Well, it was kind of like their brainchild. They wanted to kind of get everybody working together, which is a big thing too. A lot of businesses will pin one artist against the other artist, but here it's more of like a collective, like encouraging for everyone. It's really been wonderful.
Isn't that beautiful? And then also you did another collaboration, which I thought was really amazing with Marciano.
That was so much fun.
With the mannequins. Can you tell us a little bit how that came about? Because I think those opportunities are so great. It gives you exposure on another platform. It brings art to people that may not typically, get to see it and enjoy it. And it was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, that was a full year where they helped me dress for things like this, and as an artist, I don't always necessarily care about what I look like, but it's so nice when somebody helps you. So thank you, Marciano, for a year of beautiful clothes. I appreciate you so much. But they wanted to create this event, and so I did. They asked me, what would you do? We really want to create and support local artists. And so Anna Schum and I kind of came up with this idea called Art Meets Fashion. And how about, they gave me these mannequins and I wanted to create something that would empower women, make women feel really good, whatever you look like, because clothes have the ability to make you feel really good.
Absolutely.
And so that felt like a really good bridge because it's like art meets fashion. Fashion makes you feel good, but art makes you feel good too. And so combining the two together, I was so grateful to meet Paul Marciano. Thank you so much.
Oh, yeah. And
I love you, Paul Marciano.
And that was a great, great collaboration. I was there that evening.
They dressed me for some magazine covers.
It was just, you always look fabulous. So I thank them too.
Thank you, Marciano, for supporting local artists.
Janelle Reale look gorgeous all the time.
Right.
And I love seeing the mannequins in the store. It just really elevated the whole experience and made it just extremely amazing.
But you think about mannequins and being a part of Americana and part of like, what do mannequins represent? Well, it's this image that we want to attain to be and what we want to feel like. And so taking these and creating art with them so that it is for everyone.
Right.
A little bit more for everyone.
Right. It should be accessible. Art should be accessible. For too long, we thought of art as something that it was just like kind of an elitist thing.
Yeah, and they're still out there. They're still out there. Good for you.
Great. Right.
That's not me, but that's for you.
But, you know, there's so many mediums that are accessible and should be accessible, and people should feel good approaching it and getting into the world of art, even if you don't have, you know,
a degree,
or gazillion dollars to buy your way in, or whatever. You know, you should, because it does evoke so much emotion and energy, and it could get somebody through a tough point in their life. So they should have the access to that, you know?
I think so. You know, like when people are really struggling, sometimes, you know, you have like this piece of art that makes you feel good. And maybe that's the thing that gets you through the day.
Right. It's happened for me.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
So I think when I'm creating different art pieces, I want it to feel a certain way. I want it to feel good. I want it to make people feel good. I want people to feel inspired to make it through another day, to get through whatever tough job, tough life situation, tough experience you might have, and remember that there is joy on the end. There's something about color therapy. There's a thing about color therapy, and when people see different colors, it makes them feel better. So I think, you know, when we're in a society where things are so scary, things are so tough, whatever people's experiences are, maybe a little bit of color will help them get through it.
Yes, I agree 100%. I know that it does. I think color does wonders. It does. You know, especially bright pops of color just make you, they feel happy tonight. It makes you feel good.
I had a commission once and they wanted me to do only 3 colors. I was like, oh my God, how am I going to only do 3 colors? Well, I'll blend them together and make 6.
Ah, see, there you go. That's the artist. You're like, you said 3 colors. You said
technically 3.
Right, exactly. But 3 colors can make many colors.
Exactly. You picked the right one.
So I love this theme of amor, love, everything that I see in your art.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
So my first big gallery break came from a giant 50-foot mural I painted. And at the time they wanted to do a love theme, but I was personally experiencing something really intense and traumatic. And so it was almost like I meditated on it, and it was like, the power of love. You know, a lot of people see the hearts. Well, the heart not only is a fine art reference with Jim Dine, who was one of the first pop artists to show with Andy Warhol and Roy Lichtenstein. A lot of people don't know it. And he's still alive. He's out in Washington State, which of course I know because I'm from Washington. But he decided not to kind of go down this route with Andy Warhol and this big klux and just kept making hearts.
Oh, wow.
He just kept making hearts, you know, and big hearts and little hearts and signs of love. And so for me, the inspiration was carrying on that message, but making it a way that I could, because when people see a heartbeat, they come back into themselves. And now they're doing more research on the heart being almost as big of a brain center as your brain. So that heart-brain connection, if we can get people back into the hearts, maybe we can get more loving, more compassion, a little bit of patience. Calm down, everybody. 100%. We all have a heartbeat. Doesn't matter if it's whatever color, whatever religion, whatever nationality. We all have a heartbeat.
I agree.
We all have a heartbeat.
I agree. Yeah, because it seems like we're living in a time today where people
forget.
It's like survival of the fittest, and it's like you can't cry. Can't. Yeah, like people don't want to smile. Like everybody's so busy trying to seem callous.
Yeah.
That we forget that community and love is the way we've survived. For hundreds.
Takes a village.
It takes a village.
It takes a village. We need our village.
You know what? You may be good at not crying in public and being kind of a jerk, but let's see what happens when your car breaks down, buddy.
I know.
Because I know you can't fix that by yourself.
Exactly.
You're going to need a smile, and you're going to have to find somebody who can help you.
I think it's true. You know, like I think if we come back together as people, appreciating people. I push the hearts a bit, but I do have a goal to paint with 1 million people. And so far I've painted with 1,400.
I love that.
Because, you know, it's a special moment for people. I think we're losing the ability to create and appreciate art in so many avenues. Like our government is cutting all the funds for public arts. And then we've got, businesses that maybe, graphic design is great, but where do you support the local artists who beautify communities, who make people feel good? I think it's a cultural importance that we keep art and music in schools, in the public eye, accessible to people, because it is such an uplifter. You look at anything like vibrationally, right? Like the sounds, the colors, that is what's healing to people. So if we can keep that here, it's also really fun to make. Right,
absolutely. No, it's true. We have to keep that in the forefront of our lives and realize it just has such an effect.
The ability to express, for other artists to
express,
for other artists to be able to, whatever avenue is, dance, poetry, writing, acting, all of it. We have the Smith Center down the way.
Right.
Like, come on, we need a cultural arts center here because it helps people that maybe feel intimidated by art experience art.
Right. And that's so important. Right. I mean, how can they get over their intimidation and enjoy what it brings into their lives if it's unapproachable?
Right.
It has to be approachable. Mm-hmm. And then I love the fact that painting with people, because it brings back community. Not only do you create something so gorgeous, but it brings back that sense of community.
Well, and then they come back and visit.
Yes.
The thing that they helped create, collectively.
Make you a part of. Because that's what I've always, I really enjoy. My most memorable times in my life are times where I was a part of something that was greater than me.
Exactly.
Whether it be volunteering to, feed people with a community of other people, but it was a time where the focus was not on me. It's never a time where it was like, oh, it's my birthday or this. It's a time where I was celebrating doing something for somebody else with other people. Those are the days where I leave and I smile for an entire week. Yeah. Or an entire month, because it's that sense of community is priceless.
It really is, and I think people, it's so easy to recluse. It's so easy to stay home and not get out there and participate with life. And so I think a little bit of art, a little bit of color helps people kind of just, maybe I could do this at home. Maybe I could do that. I try to create ways that people can replicate what I'm doing so that you learn a little tool and then you take it to whatever level you're going to take it to and you're at home, so that you're now the artist too.
How amazing. And then you can share it with other people and get them to that level. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. Mm-hmm. I love it.
Color.
Yes. Yeah, I'm big on color. Big on color. Live in color. So, excuse me. Also, I really associate you with Las Vegas.
Oh, I love Las Vegas.
And Nevada. But you're from Washington State.
Sure.
So how long have you been in Las Vegas and how did you get here?
I have been in this area since about 2006, 2008. And actually, my parents retired out here. And unfortunately, my father has Parkinson's and has some health issues. So my mom was kind of asking me to come out. And so when I came out here, it was almost like the Wild West. It was like they didn't have a super established art scene. They didn't have art programs for artists like other cities, like in Seattle. It's very well established. It's very hard to get in. And so I kind of was like, ooh, here we go. Maybe I can roll my dice.
Right?
Let me roll the dice. And I keep rolling the dice.
And it keeps working out, though. I love it.
There's been, a lot of people ask me, how did it work out? There were so many no's before I got a yes.
But you keep, that's the courage and determination.
Knocking on the door. Just keep going.
It doesn't sound like you have a plan B, because this is in your heart soul. This is what makes you tick. This is what gives you life. So I don't think there's a plan B.
Oh, no.
The only plan is for Janelle Reale to keep going, spreading love, joy, art, laughter, everything to the lives of many, which you've done such a great job. So I highly doubt that you'll ever stop anytime in the near future.
I don't know. I started when I was 1. It was kind of one of those things, whether it works out or not, or whether it works out by other people's standards or not. I've been able to keep going. So I'm excited for that.
Yes. Well, I'm excited for you, and you deserve everything because you're an amazing person. I know you. I mean, I know you as a friend, and I'm a fan of you as an artist and everything. And I don't see anything but, the sky is not even the limit. It's past the sky.
It's past the sky.
It's past the sky, baby.
Well, and then, I've been really lucky to be in other cities and get commissions through Europe and some other channels and murals all over. But I think it's just the big key has been being nice to people.
Yeah.
Being approachable, listening to what they would like to create, helping them create a vision, and then I'm happy when they let me create whatever vision I think too, but not having it, well, I want to do this here. Well, I want to do that there.
See?
I would rather people wake up in the morning after the artwork's done and feel inspired and be like, I was a part of that.
Right. See, I think that's what's so beautiful about you too, is because most people, because they're insecure a bit by what they do, they will start to lead by ego.
Yeah.
So there is no room for compromise. There is no room for influence. But I feel like you're so confident in a beautiful way about who you are and what you do that you don't have to lead with ego. You lead with kindness and gratitude, and you allow these opportunities to let people into what you're doing. And, and I think that's just so special and so rare in so many people, I
had a dream. I was going to be painting with light, and I didn't quite understand what that meant. And I realized that light is inspiring other people in their lives, however that may look. So whether it's a mural or a sculpture or a painting or an art experience, maybe that's going to kind of help uplift the world a little bit more.
It does. Well, you inspire me, that's for sure. And also, it's just being here at Mad Gallery is so amazing and a testament to just really keeping art in community. So, the art district here in Las Vegas has really exploded, which is great. But as a result of it and it becoming more popular, you start to bring in more places like bars, restaurants, and you don't want to get too far away from what it made it amazing. So Mad Gallery was almost an answer to making sure that the art district stayed focused on art.
And that was literally done by a owner seeing the changes in the arts district. So when I first started showing here, it was probably 12 years ago. And I don't know if I can mention what business it is now, but it used to be called the Warehouse Collective, and it had multiple artists in there, and we all got to show, and it was amazing. And now it is a franchise restaurant. I'll just leave it at that. And then there was another spot that just recently got purchased by a hotel management group that had probably 30 artists in there, and they shut down. And then even the business that was right next door to this one, Priscilla Fowler, was here for 9 years supporting local artists. And because the rents, when you have these other businesses coming in, when you have that aren't necessarily art-centric or art-based,
right?
A coffee shop is going to make $5 every 2 seconds.
Right.
A bar is going to make equivalent or more. A restaurant as well. How much money does a art gallery have to make in order to pay the rent and still pay the artists? It's really been tough when, I watched the rents from next door go from $1,600 to $4,000. $1,600 to $4,000. So of course, unfortunately, they had to close the doors. It's a struggle out here.
Right.
So when this business could be, Mad Gallery could be anything they wanted it to be, but they are choosing to support local artists and not even taking a big hit. So that's also why I thought this would be great for everyone to get to know Mad Gallery.
I love it, yes. And it's so important because it's unfortunate that, and we've seen it in New York, like with Soho or Tribeca, what made those areas initially sought after were the artists.
And then the artists get pushed out.
Being able to live in the huge lofts, essentially rent controlled and everything, because they supported the community. And then all of a sudden, they make the community popular to all of these other people. Yeah. And they now move in, and then
we make it cool and get pushed out.
Gap replaces art galleries, and all of a sudden these lofts are selling for $10 million, and the artists can no longer live there. Yeah. So it's important that what makes a community attractive, or what started it has always a stronghold on it. Artists shouldn't get pushed out because now they've open people's eyes to the art district. It's the art district for a reason. So I think places like Mad Gallery are so important.
It is so important. So please stay open, Mad Gallery.
Mad Gallery, stay open. And then we're going to have Mad Gallery 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I know,
right? Because we're just all going to come down here and buy all this fabulous art. 1312 Main Street, guys.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize, like, Las Vegas is one of the only places that doesn't have a work-live space for artists.
Yes.
So you can't work and live in your own studio. So you have to pay for the studio separate from the place that you live, which
now you have two things to have to
and they wonder why.
Right.
And they wonder why.
Right.
Well, come on. I hope the city of Las Vegas does a little bit better for us artists. And I am here to speak on behalf of them.
Yes.
But I hope that, awareness and people realizing, like, luxury brokerages coming in and realizing that art helps homes sell.
Art helps homes sell.
Makes people feel good.
Right. We all have to work together. Like you said, it's a sense of community, that keeps things going. And AI cannot take the place of neither of us, by the way, if you guys were thinking. That's just not going to happen. And AI cannot be this valuable.
It'll keep me from aging.
But aging is good. That means we're experienced and well seasoned. So thank you so much, love. I know that you have a busy day ahead and I don't want to keep you too long, but I do appreciate you having this conversation, which I think is so important. Not only is art, great for real estate, it makes it sell real estate faster for a higher price, but art is great for culture. Art is great for the fabric of our society. Art is great to bring us together, and art is great for, to combat depression and anxiety and all those things that we experience. And I'm a testament to that. And I'm so grateful to be able to call you a friend and just to have you as part of my life.
Thank you so much for having me.
And for bringing all the love.
We have to have love. Come on, everybody.
So now in closing, how do people find the fabulous Janelle Reale?
So my Instagram is janellereale.art, artwavy.com, and Mad Gallery LV.
Fabulous. Well, you guys you have to check her out. You're missing out if you don't. And thanks again for allowing us to film here at Mad Gallery. That's such a privilege. It's just an absolutely beautiful space. And you can always catch us on Always Bet on the House. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.
Thank you.